You are now listening to For All Nerds Show, a podcast about geek and pop culture from the perspective of people of color. For All Nerds is hosted by DJ Ben Amin and Tatiana Keene Jones. For All Nerds Show is a member of the Loudspeakers Network, where we always say rest in peace to our founder, Combat Jack.
For All Nerds Show is powered by our listeners. Everything we do, from our podcasts, live events, our website, are all independently funded. Please continue to support us through our Patreon page at patreon.com/forallnerds.
Welcome to the Fan Bros, the show where the bros are fans. Doodle.
All right, Ben, I know that we have been talking about how the Lord has blessed us with some beautiful things, and you're holding one right now. This is the official Valve Software SteamDeck review from ForAllNerds. Ben Hameen, please tell people about you got to do it like Vanna White style, right? You got to show the blessings in your hand right now.
Yes, folks, this is the Valve Software SteamDeck, blessed to For All Nerds by Valve Software themselves. Thank you very much for sending us this review copy of this bad boy right here. As y'all see, this is the Steam Deck that everybody has been talking about. Basically, it is like a small PC in the power of your hands. As you can all see, it resembles a Nintendo Switch, not Twitch, sorry. We are on Twitch watching this right now. Thank you very much. But yeah, it resembles the Nintendo Switch, and it's a bit larger. Some people said it's like the size of a Switch when you add on the larger Joy-Cons, not the ones that come with it, but when you add on the, better ones. So it gives you that. It's pretty ergonomic for its size. I will say that. Like, as large as it is, it feels quite comfortable in my hands, at least. I do have large hands, but it's pretty comfortable. All the buttons are easily reachable. The pads, the joy sticks, whatever, controller sticks. I'm not sure what you call these days.
Joysticks.
Still joysticks, yeah.
Still joysticks.
Yeah, thumbsticks. Yes, the sticks. They all work. Everything is smooth. All the triggers, everything feels very responsive.
Okay.
It has everything, right? It's got 2 thumbsticks. It's got your little bumpers. It's got your triggers. It's got...
All right, Ben, but how heavy is it? Because a Switch is fairly light. I just looked it up, and it says is about 0.88 pounds, so less than a pound. How heavy does it feel to you?
It's kind of heavy, it's not light. Like I'll say that it feels, I think they say it's around like a pound, right? So it's definitely heavier than the Switch.
I'm
right?
looking it up, and it's definitely 1.5 pounds.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, you feel it. You feel it. Like I said, it's something like I would not, unless I get a better carrying case. The carrying case that came with it is nice, but it's not something that I would hold in my hand and carry it around. I throw it in my backpack. This is definitely a backpack tool. Like you got your backpack, and there you go.
What is it with, and Switch does this too, or the accessory makers for Switch do this too. What is with these carrying cases that don't have like straps or anything? It's just literally just a handle. Like you just don't walk. Like we got stuff to do. We can't just be walking around like it's a briefcase. Like I got more to do with my day than carrying around a Steam Deck. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. All right. So when you first mentioned it, you mentioned that I guess it was last week or so. But you spoke about how it wasn't running. Like, it wasn't running no games, or every time you try to run something, it would crash. What did they resolve that? And did you actually get to play any titles?
I've gotten to play a few titles. Like, let me clear that up, right? And most people have had this issue since it came out. The problem with the Steam Deck is that it's a very new piece of equipment. And even though you might have a large Steam library, most of your games haven't been optimized for it yet.
Correct.
So most of your games are going to need a little fiddling at the very least to get to play. Like you might need to remap the controls, which I will say is very easy to do on the Steam Deck. You can push one button, it'll take you to the control remapping. Boom, boom. You push the few keys and you got your controls remapped however you want it. And like I mentioned before, it has every type of control. So remapping isn't really a problem because you've got your touchpads. You've got your 4-way directional. You got your thumb. You got your, triggers of all sorts. You got haptic feedback, all that different stuff. So that's not the issue. But the issue is that certain games to this day are still not working. And Some of it has to do with developers who don't want to. I've heard that Fortnite made a statement that they don't want to release this to the Steam Deck yet because it'll cheaters are a big problem they don't want to deal with.
Mm.
Halo Infinite, I'm not sure why, but it does not run on the Steam Deck. I did get Little Nightmares 2 demo running, and it's running smoothly and powerfully. That is what I will say about the Steam Deck. For its price, I think $400, you get a very
Mm.
powerful computer in the palm of your hands.
Compared to you playing Little Nightmares on the PS5, what is the difference or similarities?
Pretty much the same. Like, as
Hmm.
far as I've seen, I've only seen people play Little Nightmares on Twitch myself, so I never played it myself. But I turned up the fidelity, turned up all the graphic resolution, the ultra, the best they can do on it, and it was
Yeah.
running smooth as hell. It looks beautiful. I had no problems. Like I say, for $400, you get a very powerful PC in your hands. And if you already have a Steam library, this is a deal because you got all your games. Most of them are going to work, at least with some adjustment, and you can play everything on the go. I'm not a big user of Steam yet, so this is kind of all new to me. So I'm just jumping in. I'm just trying to find games. There's always been mad games that I wanted to play, but I'm a Mac user and I never, it just wasn't happening. So
Hmm.
now it's like I got to find out all those games that I wanted to play and figure out, okay, yeah, like I've been looking for the Warhammer titles and other stuff like that.
Hmm.
But like I said, everything I've gotten to work, it's been popping.
What are the ports on that thing? That's the one question that I had because I didn't really look at all the details on that. Like, one, how does it charge? Is it using USB
USB-C.
C?
You got the
Okay.
USB-C port right there on the top,
All
along
right.
with your headphone audio out
Headphone
jack
jack,
right there.
audio
This
out.
the speakers on this joint are quite powerful. It is quite
Really?
loud all by itself, and it needs to be because the fan is something else that a lot of people have been talking about and reporting on. And this joint ain't quiet. It ain't
So
like
you've experienced the same loud fan noise.
Yeah, it ain't like no booming system, you know what I mean? But it ain't quiet at the same time. Like compared to most laptops, it's gonna run about as loud as most laptops. It's much quieter than like my
Mm.
PS5. When my PS5 is cracking, that fan kicks in,
Yeah,
you
but that
know.
is kind
Um
of unknown. I mean, even though this is a more powerful handheld, handhelds
yes.
aren't known to be loud whatsoever.
No. But
So,
this is a very powerful handheld. So it's
the
kind of understandable. And
yeah,
it doesn't get hot. That's the good thing, right? Your hands aren't sitting there cooking. Because I've had some laptops before that would, cook my lap if
right.
they were in them.
So the fans on that are loud, but you don't feel the consequences of the loudness.
No.
Like, because to me, typically when the fan spools up and it starts going hard in any most other devices, the device itself is starting to heat up. But you're saying you're not.
Yes.
It's dissipating the heat pretty well.
It's dissipating the heat fantastically so far.
Okay.
Yeah. And like I said, I was running Little Nightmares on its ultra setting. So that should,
Hmm.
increase the heat. And I was fine.
Okay. Do we know anything from the Valve PR folks about what they're going to be doing in terms of support, like in terms of pushing updates to it, getting, trying to fix these issues that it's still having? As we know, it's brand new, but
Hmm.
the thing is, it's basically going to come to consumers like soon, if not already. So it's
It's
just
already
like,
in their hands.
right. So and it's, I won't say the hardware is messed up per se, but it's just like things are not working. It's a software issue. Have they said anything about what they're doing to mitigate all these issues?
Oh, they definitely have, and they've
Okay.
offered their full support. I've been in touch with Valve or people over at Valve since I got mine. They've definitely been, obviously I'm a reviewer, so they wanted to make sure I had all the information and everything I needed. But they've been very open about everything, and also developers have been very open. And as more titles come out, as Steam is just filled with titles, so
It's
people are going to
heavy.
be working and being like, okay, this is out there now, and they're going to be optimizing it. They've already said that the more, like, if a game has daily users, they're going to go down the list of all the highest used games and then, convert all those and make sure those are working. Obviously, because those are the games that people are using all
Yeah.
the time and they want on here. But they've
Yeah.
already got a massive library of games, and they have a section of games in the Steam library now optimized for Steam Deck. So it lets you know these games are already good to go and
Right.
running.
Right.
I just haven't wanted to spend the money on a game yet, myself, because I just dropped the thing. I'm just trying to run through some demos and see how it works and everything.
I'm just out here trying to function.
Yeah, I got to figure out something, before. But I do the Warhammer games, and I know the sales. That's the other thing. Steam always has sales that are crazy. So, and if you have a Steam library, like I say, and you can get your hands on these are definitely back ordered. I know people who pre-ordered theirs last July and did not get one in the first shipment. Yeah, it's tight. This is a hot item on the streets right now.
Right.
But,
that leads into my next question. I was going to ask you, who do you recommend this handheld for? Like, who's the target audience for this? Is it for the people who have Nintendo Switches and wants just a different experience? You mentioned already, if you already have a prevalent Steam library, this is probably going to be up your alley. But there's still some people who still don't really rock with Steam like that. So who would you recommend this system for?
I would definitely first off recommend it to anyone who has a Steam library, especially if you got a big ass Steam library. This is it's a go, because like I say, it's a powerful computer. It'll run most of your games that you're already familiar with. I know people who've been playing Elden Ring on it and having a blast. One dude said he beat 2 big bosses on it, so it's ready to go.
Wow. I would love to see how Elden Ring runs on it, like literally just just in person. But
yeah, they say pretty well. Of course, you can't run the highest settings on it, but they say it's pretty solid.
What is a pretty solid means is just a few drop frames. Like,
no, not drop frames.
It's not like unplayable.
Drop frames will get you killed. They just mean you can't turn the graphics all the way up to maximum resolutions, etc. So they're ultra high.
But if you do, what happens? That's what I'm trying to understand.
You're going to drop some frames. You're going to take some L's.
Okay, you're going to take the L somewhere. Okay, and also just if you don't turn it up all the way high, is the graphics looking like a Nintendo Switch? No. It's all respect. No disrespect, but respect. Are we talking about Nintendo Switch 480p type stuff, or are we talking about
No. I mean, it's just like computer where you can choose. Even for the demo of Little Nightmares 2, it had every setting on there. If I wanted to go down to 480, I could go down to 480. If I wanted to go all the way up, to higher resolution than this thing can handle, it was ready. So.
Okay. All right. Cool. Yeah. Well, I mean, like you said, for $400, that seems like, based on everything it's proposed to give you, it sounds like a steal, actually. And go ahead.
Yeah. No. Also, like, if you're a Windows user, this is a full Windows machine. Linux. Help me with the
Linux. Yeah. It depends. People will say Linux, but whatever.
Yeah, I never knew. I mean, it's a Linux machine, but you can also run Windows on it. You can partition it. You can do a lot. Like, this is a joint. You know what I mean? And I'm not a big Windows user yet, but I'm like, the possibilities for having this are like, it's nice.
I'm looking forward to the jailbreak videos and videos where they repurpose it all together, or they daisy chain these together to mimic the horsepower of a PS5, because it's coming, if not it happened already.
People are running emulators on it and playing pretty much every game known ever created already on it. I've already seen that done. So, if you want to get some GoldenEye in your hands right now, there you go.
I mean, you can do anything at that point. All right. So where can people find the Steam Deck player versus just a Steam Deck? I mean, I know it's just not available. Where can they go?
ValveSoftware.com is where you can go to still and attempt to pre-order, put your place in, get your place online. I'm sure there's things on eBay, etc. right now.
Ooh, it's looking horrible. You could probably go to StockX. Good luck to you. It's not looking too good, fam. And I'm sure that chip shortages and similar things that have been going on for the last couple of years is not helping.
Probably not. Thank you very much to Valve Software for shooting out this one to ForAllNerds. Like we say, thank you very much once again. I definitely, I would, like I say, if you're a Steam user, if you're a PC user and you're looking for something mobile, I would definitely look for one. Get your place in line. If you're balling like that, hit up eBay or StockX. But I would definitely recommend it. It's sweet.
Before we go, can you turn on the device and also turn it on Little Nightmares? I just want to see it on the screen. And I know it's going to be somewhat of a glare, but if you just turn that on and actually put it to the camera, maybe even move if you can. I'm just curious to see what that looks like.
All righty. We're turning on right now. Might have to have a little editing.
That's okay. We have to have edit.
Yeah. All right.
40 hours later.
Yeah, we're getting a little glare from right there, but
That's
there's
right.
little nightmares. There's your little man running along pretty smooth, as you see.
Yeah.
You know, smooth, back and forth, back, responsive on the sticks. Oh, he's back. Okay. So,
What about jumping and all that?
yeah. I mean, there's the jump along.
All right, so it's
jump.
instantaneous.
Instantaneous.
From the time you say it's off, right? The
Yep.
Steam Deck is off. From the time you turn it on to the time you can actually get to the, I guess, game select screen, how long is that?
From turning on to the game select screen, I'd say about a minute. And then probably another minute and a half, maybe minute for your game to load. Maybe.
It's giving me 2 minutes. It's giving me 2 minutes for
it
game
also
load.
depends on the game. Depending on the game, yes. For certain games,
game.
it's like instant, pretty much loading. It's like yeah.
And it's this constant. It was Steam, so it's constant streaming straight from the Steam library, right?
Yes, as far as no, but you download the games to the system. The game has a
that was my question.
There's several models. Mine came with, I want to say, 256 gigabytes, and it goes up from there.
So there is onboard storage. So
there definitely is.
So obviously, if it's on board, it will load faster.
Yeah.
But can you on demand stream from your library?
I don't think so.
There's Wi-Fi on there, right? I mean,
there's definitely Wi-Fi, all that on there, because you download the game straight from Steam, straight on here. But I don't know if you can on demand stream a game, because every game I've had so far, I've downloaded to my library.
Okay. All right, cool. So this $400 system that you cannot get, most likely, for at least 3 months at this point, but it is technically available to the public. Benjamin, what do you rate it? Are we giving it the ForAllNerds thumbs up or thumbs down?
Oh, definitely a thumbs up. Definitely a big thumbs up for the Steam Deck. Like I say, this is my first introduction to Steam, but for putting this, ability to play pretty much any game ever created in the palm of your hands, that's pretty nice, for $400. Like, that's pretty nice. And for the potential of Steam, with so many games, I mean, that's just Steam. Like, I'm not even talking about getting into the emulators. Just on Steam, there are so many games, and there are more dropping every day. And, you get all this variety, all these interesting developers and all this stuff, plus all the majors. So, yeah, I would, once you can get your hands on this, I would definitely recommend it if you have any interest at all. And if you don't have a mobile unit, like if you're, trying to decide between a Switch and this, I probably lean towards this joint. Only because, Switch does have, those exclusive Nintendo titles.
Right.
Which is always their win, But beyond that, I'm sure I could find an emulator for some old Mario Karts on here if I need be, who knows?
Yeah.
A legend.
Anyways, I was going to say, I might want to keep that quiet. But also, you can put emulators on damn near anything. So that's
old hat. A legend.
Yeah. Thank you again to the Valve software team for looking out and putting ForAllNerds on your review list. Thank you for any other company that may be listening or watching this. We would also like to review the system, so please hit us up, contact at ForAllNerds.com. If you all who are listening and watching, you have any more questions about the Steam Deck Player with an A at the end, hit up us again at ForAllNerds on the socials. And make sure you are subscribed to us on YouTube's at ForAllNerd TV. That's where this is going to live. This review is going to live. You're going to see some clips on our socials as well. And we will be talking more about some games very soon.
Yes, and make sure you're following us on twitch.tv/ForAllNerds, where you can see us broadcasting said games all the time.
Fan Bros, FAN,